G'day guys, Wereman here. Welcome back to the workshop. We're doing some more optional rule stuff, and I think I've got an explosive one for you today, buddy.
Oh no, we're not, are we?
Mm-hmm.
I believe we are.
We are 100% doing it.
All right.
So, have any of you ever thought while you're playing BattleTech, engine criticals, that should really explode, shouldn't it? I know I have. When that little running mech gets caught out and his engine just goes and melts down, it's a little disappointing. You want him to blow up. You want this little fireball, like boom, right? Right.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, I do.
And when the enemy like runner stands next to your trebuchet and punches its torso out and causes the ammo to cook off and blows your hard-earned trebuchet to bits yet again, you want it to blow that thing up too, don't you? You want that big explosion to go and just take out everybody.
We want revenge, basically. We want it.
You've read the novels and you want to be able to set your mech to self-destruct, don't you?
From a distance, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so I want to point out for the record that scientifically, he said, with big air quotes, the law around the mechs means that the fusion engines don't explode. They don't explode, they melt down. When you get engine criticals or when your center torso is destroyed, or left or right torso for XL engines for inner sphere units, is destroyed, your engine melts down. It'll go, and there'll be some heat and stuff, and then it'll all just kind of flow into itself and just be this slag on the floor, right? There's no big explosion. Based around the law, based around the science that they have for the fusion engines that are there, okay? This is fact. This is a thing that's in law. But what you can do is you can use the rules that they give you on page 77 and 78 of TAC Ops to say, hang the science, we're going to make our engines explode. So what they do is they give you an optional rule to say, okay, you've got your engine taking critical hits or you've been caught out or whatever it is. There is a small chance, some fluke of weirdness that says, wow, the meltdown didn't work properly, the safety features didn't work properly, and it's gone critical. Kablammy! Okay? So, when the fusion engine of a mech takes 4 or more critical hits in the same phase, which is difficult to do, you actually have to call the mech out, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Or you have to have some sort of really, really hard-hitting weapon that will go through, say, an engine side or deal multiple critical hits or something. I don't know. But you have to do 4 or more critical hits in the same phase. You get a 2d6 roll. On a 10 or higher, the engine explodes. In the case of fusion-powered combat and support vehicles and aerospace fighters, the engine explodes on a result of 12 or more after a single critical hit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So with a mech, you have to have 4 hits. So basically you have to core it out. I don't think there's really any other way you can do it. You have to core the mech out, right?
If you get an ammo explosion.
Yeah, the ammo explosions are the only other way that I can think that would happen. Yeah. And the ammo explosion would have to be fairly big and it'd have to be in a torso. Yeah. And not case protected.
Yeah, it'd be big weapons hitting like lighter units.
Yeah.
So you just get right through.
Yeah. So if you get 4 or more criticals on a mech, you get a 2d6 roll of 10 or higher, then the engine goes. If you're in a combat or support fusion-powered vehicle or an aerospace fighter, a single engine critical hit and you get a result of 12 or more on a 2d6 roll, then you get an explosion. The explosion destroys the unit and all other units in the same hex. So if you're stacking with vehicles and things, blam. Also starts a fire in the hex, regardless of the terrain. So you can be on an ice planet with like almost no atmosphere and it'll still start a fire in there.
Probably not for very long.
Obviously. Not for very long, but it'll be there.
It'll snuff it out.
Any units in adjacent hexes take damage equal to the engine's rating divided by 10, rounded to the nearest whole number. Units 2 hexes away take damage equal to the engine's rating divided by 20. 3 hexes away take it divided by 40.
Okay.
And you divide all damage into 5-point groupings and randomly determine locations.
Wow. So
depending on where they are from where the thing explodes.
So that's 4x5, 2x5, and a 5. Boom, boom, boom. By 10, by 20, by 40 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, 10 by 20 by 40. Yeah, so you destroy in the center hex, everything's destroyed. Gone. Obliterated. Right? In the next hex out, so the 7 surrounding hexes, yeah, so that hex is destroyed. Those divided by 10.
Yeah.
All right, then 2 hexes away, which is the next ring out, is divided by 20. And then 3 hexes away, which is the next ring out, which is a big radius, it's divided by 40. And remember, you can get engine ratings
up to 400.
Up to 400.
That's what I should have said. I was actually quoting based on a 400, which is
right.
Yeah, which is how I got those numbers.
I think
they're big
can,
numbers.
Yeah, they're big numbers. I think there's some optional rules for slightly bigger engines at some point, but I think base game building, I think your maximum rating is 400. So, but I mean,
what about like a dropship engine going up? Wow, there it is, just parked there on the runway. You just, oh wow.
And so yeah, if you're standing like facing away from it, you'll take that to rear armor and all the other stuff. Your location, and it's all in 5-point grouping. So yeah, if it's a 40, if it's a 400 biggest engine you can get, you're on that outer hex layer, you're getting 10 points of damage in 2 5-point groupings.
Wow.
Which is not nothing. Engine explosion is treated as an area effect weapon. And so all rules that apply to such weapons also apply to the engine explosion. So I think the hex above will also get, like the level above will get vaporized as well. So
it follows those rules.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
that sort of thing.
Yeah. Wow.
So you use the rules for buildings, hills, and mobile structures as they interact with artillery. I don't think we've gone through them interacting with artillery, but those are the rules that you use for determining mobile structures and buildings if they're in the area of the engine explosion.
Okay.
Area effect weapons against buildings when resolving the damage from an exploding engine if the target is in a water hex. The target's not in a water hex and an adjacent hex is a water hex. No damage is applied to completely submerged targets in that adjacent hex. So if you are a mech and you're standing next to a river and there's like battle armor, like Undines or whatever they are in the river, and it's completely submerged, then when your thing goes nuclear, it just flows over the top of the water. It's not gonna damage them in that water.
You sure? That's a... I don't know.
I think they get very, very warm for a few minutes. But it doesn't apply any damage. And woods do not give you cover from this. So even if you're using optional cover rules, which they do technically have, so they have optional cover rules in TAC Ops, so that you get like different bits missing things and all that sort of stuff. There's expanded rules for using cover, but they do not apply if you're in woods near an engine explosion. You just take the damage. That's it.
Yeah.
You can be standing in heavy woods 3 hexes away. You're still taking that damage. The other cool one with explosions is the fact that your ammunition can technically do basically the same thing. So your ammunition going up is, when it's described, it's basically all internal explosions, right? They don't ever mention it like lighting fires or anything like that. When you get an ammo explosion in your trebuchet, he said, bringing up the trauma, it's all like, according to the rules as written, it's all basically just in his torso, slowly creeping its way to his engine, and he coughs a little puff of smoke and tips over, right? There's no mention of it expanding outwards or anything like that. If you use these rules, you can.
Whoa.
So there are some, they actually say in here, in standard rules play, the destruction of a unit by an ammo explosion has no effect on any other unit in the vicinity. However, some ammo explosions can be truly titanic.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
So when a unit without case in the proper location to stop an ammunition explosion is destroyed by an ammunition explosion, determine the total amount of damage caused by the detonation, generally equal to the amount of shots remaining times the maximum damage of each shot. Divide this amount by 10 and apply it as an area effect attack in the destroyed unit's hex, with all units in adjacent hexes taking half this damage.
Wow. So a full bin of machine gun ammo. There's what, 40 points? Oh.
It's if it's a full bin of
it's 10, wasn't it?
Yeah, it'd be 400, yeah. So everyone in that hex, if there's anything in that hex with you, it's taking the full force. That 400 goes. Anybody in there, the surrounding hexes gets, the 40.
Oh.
40 down. Holy crap. I was thinking,
wow.
Archers have like if you've got a ton of LRM 20 ammo, there's 5 shots. Is it 5 shots?
So it'd be 20 points of damage. Per reload.
Yeah, so it's 100.
So it's 240 missiles.
Yeah.
No, it's 6 rounds. Yeah, 120. Because you get six shots per ton.
6 shots per ton.
6 shots of 20.
Okay. So if it's 6 shots of 20, it's 120. So if you've got a full ton that gets hit and goes up, then you and everybody, you take the normal damage, you get destroyed, you'll get gutted out by that damage, but then you apply 120 points to that hex as well, and then everybody near you will be taking the 12. So it's not as spectacular as an engine destruction, but it's a hell of a lot easier to do, and it's pretty big.
40 points of damage. To like a light mech that's standing there. Just brr. Or a light vehicle. Brr.
That's it. You happen to be in the same hex as a vehicle, and there's like a couple of people there trying to kill you, and your ammo goes up, and it's like 4 tons of LRM ammo or something, and it's just...
I was thinking of the piranha for the clans. Oh, what a nightmare that would be.
That would be a big bang. That would be a really big bang. The practical upshot of these 2 expanded explosion rules is that you can technically set your unit to self-destruct. So you can use it as a big bomb. So you can destroy your own mech rather than let it fall into enemy hands. Other pilots use these tactics as last-ditch effort to take enemy mechs down with them. However, the rationale, the wide radius of a battle mech explosion means it will almost instantly, certainly kill the pilot, even if you eject.
Yeah.
Right? In order to initiate self-destruct, player must announce to their opponent that one of their units will be self-destructing, but not which one. Player secretly writes down which of their units is self-destructing during the end phase of a turn. If the pilot wishes to eject, he will do so during the following turn's movement instead of moving the unit. The turn following the turn in which the announcement was made, during the weapon attack phase, the self-destructing unit is revealed to all players. Unit does not automatically explode, however. In order to correctly override the mech's safety features and initiate destruction, controlling player has to make an unmodified piloting skill check. If you're successful, it explodes. If you fail, it doesn't explode, can no longer move, fire, or make physical attacks. It's basically a dead mech, right?
You tried, but you failed.
You tried and failed. The controlling player may continue to make piloting skill rolls in subsequent weapon attack phases until successful, as long as you remain in the unit, as long as the pilot's still there. If the pilot ejected and they fail, then it doesn't explode and it just sits there and becomes salvage, basically.
Right.
But yeah, if at any point during the self-destruct sequence the engine receives the 3 critical hits required to destroy the engine, it's aborted as the system controlling the sequence is destroyed.
Right. So engine damage shuts it down. Okay.
Yeah, 3. If you give it 4, then you've still got that 10 plus roll to actually set it off yourself.
Anyway. Oh, nice.
But if you can hit it 3 times, then you can shut down the abort sequence, the destruction sequence, and it'll just be dead meat.
Excellent.
But you can technically set your things, and there are such things as remote piloting systems and drone control systems and things like that. So technically, if you're using them, I think the WOB use them a lot, don't they? Where do Blake use the remote control?
And I was thinking about the Axeman and Hatchetman and the I think the Cyclops has it as well. Like it has the quirk of a fully enclosed cockpit ejection system. So the head comes off. So you've got a sealed unit that's got armor and everything on it. If the head hasn't been damaged, that comes off.
Yeah.
So that's sealed, and you can still operate. There'd still be communication of some sort. If you'd still want to be able to operate it.
Mm.
If it's got
I think the way they're writing it here is if you eject, even if you eject, you're probably going to get destroyed.
But it depends on the damage that it does.
Yeah.
Well, if they say it's so big it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter.
Well, you've got the movement phase. You'd have to talk to a GM or make a house rule about how far you can get in ejecting, because even in a full head ejection system, you've only got 9 points of armor.
Yeah.
If you can't get at least 4 hexes away in the time it takes your mech to explode, which is less than 10 seconds, then you're wiped out. You're gone.
I'll have thrusters with little pop-out drone aerodyne wings or something. That'll have to be the next thing you'd have. You'd want an ejection thing like that, surely.
I think the bits on the Hatchet Man's head are technically directional, like control surfaces.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm pretty sure.
They're such good
I
mechs.
remember reading
so iconic
the
and
lore.
stuff too.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
So good.
That's cool. So if you want your guys to explode a bit more, I personally would like to use the ammo explosion rules, because that's the number of times I've had someone standing next to me and just blow a hole in a missile unit that has ammo and had it just go bang in its own hex and nothing happens to them. It's like, why can't I take you with me? So, but that would, it's not going to be really like super damaging. Most weapons are set up to have 100 damage points of ammo. Most of them.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple that it's slightly weird, but most of them are set up to have like 100 points, which means you're at most going to be doing about 10-ish points of damage to the units around you. No, it's just 10 points of damage. So everyone in your hex will take the full whatever, but the rest will be taking 10. So it's not going to kill most larger units, but if some little things come up to you and put a laser through your torso and set you off, then it's probably going to get wiped out in return, which is pretty cool. I just like the idea of them going up like nukes.
That's right. Yeah.
You're watching the like a manga style thing where the shoulder just explodes outwards and takes the head off the little mech that just killed it. And it's like, yeah,
and then
serves you right,
and then leaves a big hole in that apartment block that you're standing next to as well. So was it Evangelion style? Just boom. But that's the thing. That's something you'd have to keep in mind as well. If you're playing scenarios that a lot of them have like tables or something to reference to look on, to roll on, with modifiers based on how the population perceives you and your opponent as well.
Yeah, if you're doing,
why are we fighting? There could be different reasons for it, and it will affect the population. So if you're having some sort of campaign game where the
the opinion of the populace is important, then exploding your mechs around them is probably not going to lead you to friendship.
Let's just add another dangerous element to the urban jungle. You know, it's terrible enough as it is.
Well, if you want your units to explode in fiery balls of death, then there's your option.
Yes. You use the word option, but I would use it very flexibly.
Flexibly. Like I say, it's actually pretty difficult to pull off with a mech. You have to do the full 4 criticals in one phase, and then roll 10 or more on 2d6, right? But with the ammo explosions, that's regular. I mean, if you're playing 30-25 base game stuff, there's almost nobody out there with case. So when you take out that LRM carrier or that hunchback with a full load of ammo, you want to be like not right next to them because you'll take damage.
Yeah.
When their ammo goes up, you take damage.
Yeah, especially the SRM carrier. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Some of the vehicles will carry tons of ammo.
Yeah, they will. Because that's their thing, isn't it? You know, they don't have to pay the heat.
And the thing with mechs is only 1 ton at a time goes up. So you have to roll more criticals to get more tons of ammo to go up. But with the vehicles, if you haven't got... No, even with case. Yeah. So with vehicles, all the ammo in the vehicle explodes if you get an ammo explosion.
Yeah, because they're so confined.
So that can potentially be like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of points. And if they haven't got vehicle case, then everyone around them is going to be taking a lot of damage.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Submarines.
I like that.
Look out, submarines.
What was it? The Demolisher. How many tons of ammo does that have? I don't know.
I think it's got
to have a few.
I think it's got 20 shots per gun. So it's got about 8 tons.
Wow.
Yeah.
And all of that'll go up at once if you get ammo explosion option.
Yeah.
And it'll be divided by 10 for the units and the hexes surrounding it.
Oh yeah, it's nice and cool because you could fit 2 vehicles into 1 hex if you really want to under the stacking rules. That's a great idea. Yeah, that's good. We'll go through this narrow road down the city here, get ambushed. Johnny here gets taken out and just explodes.
And just poor old Gaz is next to him going, "Are you serious?"
That's right. I only slept with your sister once.
Ah! Oh dear.
Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think more explosions and more chances of something spectacular happening.
Yeah,
is actually very good.
And if you want to get a little bit of extra like tension there, like I say, you don't want to get next to something that you think you can core out. You don't want to get next to something that you think might take a critical hit to its ammo because it'll hurt you, it'll damage you.
Yeah.
And if you get near someone with their engine going up, you're going to get roasted.
That changes things a lot. And infantry or whatever would definitely have to watch out.
Oh, dead set. You're dead, basically. Anyway... Yeah, there's your extra explosive stuff for those of you that don't want to rely on the physics to say, fusion engines should just melt down. They should explode.
There should be some sort of chaos, some randomness to it. Let's do that.
Yeah, all good.
All right.
You guys stay groovy, and we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.